I'm playing with Path of Exile for a long time now. Of course, I'm not the biggest hardcore fan, not like I'm a so big veteran, but yeah, I'm not a casual player. And of course, when the Path of Exile 2 came out, I immediately jumped in. I was hyped, I was really ready to have a great experience. And yeah, it's it has its issues, and back in the day I did not really make videos about it because, you know, my sentiment was as well just let them cook, you know. It's an early access, it's just they're developing it, they are making a lot of balance, they're making a lot of content, and they're actively working on it. They are really dedicated, they are really trying to fix this. So yeah, I wasn't really satisfied with the product, but still I was ready to give the benefit of the doubt and just, you know, allow them to fix their thing and just make my critique and make my observations when it is ready. However, I actually made a video about Path of Exile back in February. Now, the reason I made it, because in February we found out that essentially GGG, you know, the developer company of Path of Exile 1 and 2, so essentially GGG lied to us. Because the main reason why we were so hyped and the main reason why we thought that this is going to be the best thing ever created by any game development company was that, you know, Path of Exile 1 already in extremely complex and extremely hard game. So it's a hardcore game for hardcore gamers. But it's also really fun. I would say that one of the best games ever created. And they told us, and they repeated this sentiment over and over again, that the release of Path of Exile 2 will not mean that Path of Exile 1 is over. Path of Exile 1 development timelines are not going to be affected by Path of Exile 2 at all. I mean, that was the idea, and that is why we all were so excited, because we just saw that, all right, Path of Exile 1 is a great game, and it's, you know, it's a live service game. It has its leagues or seasons, and every now and then, usually in 3 or 4 months, we get new contents, and they are awesome. There's a lot of things to do, and we just usually wait for the next league to try out the next thing. And, you know, it's really entertaining, it's really fun. So the idea was that Path of Exile 2 is going to be different than Path of Exile 1, and they are going to release it as a separate game, but still Path of Exile 1 is still going to exist, and they are going to have the same type of seasons and leagues as before with the same schedule. So if you don't like Path of Exile 2 in its current state, you can just jump back to Path of Exile 1 and you can enjoy yourself, you can do your regular thing. It's going to have the same amount of content, it's going to have the same leagues. It's only if Path of Exile 2 is fun and good for you, you can play there, you can spend your time there. But if it's not, you can jump right back to Path of Exile 1. And this was such a good idea. It was, you know, we all were hyped, and that is why people were asking over and over again, are you sure you can do this? Are you sure you can handle this? Because, you know, starting a new game is hard. You need resources, you need people to do that. And they said that, yes, they are 100% going to do this because Path of Exile 1 and 2 have 2 separate teams working on them. They're going to handle it. And, you know, the general idea of the entire company is to have these 2 projects parallel to each other, so they are really not supposed to counter each other. However, what happened was Path of Exile 2 released. It's generally a good game. It has a lot of problems, but oh, that's a deer. You saw its bottom. Well, yeah, that was a deer. It was visible on the camera as well, I checked. I mean, at least the bottom part of the deer. Yeah. So where was I? Path of Exile 2 was released. It was generally alright, it was fine, but, you know, it was undercooked. It wasn't really that great experience what we hoped for. I mean, it had a lot of potential, it had a lot of good parts, but overall it was so unbalanced, it was so a drag to level up, to just go to the campaign. It was really slow, sometimes extremely boring, extremely grindy. It was really hard to get any good gear. For the matter of fact, for me, it was impossible to get a good gear. And the starting class I started out, because at that point you don't have guides, you don't have really any player feedback that what builds and what skills are really good to use and what are not, and therefore I ended up using one of the worst skills in the game. And when I tried to re-roll my character, it was extremely hard to do because I did not get the resources to do so. So yeah, you know, this general slag and really bad experience is not necessarily the problem of the game. It's just the problem caused by being an early access game and a fresh launch, and just simply it's you know, it needs some time to cook. So okay, I tried it out. It was quite fun. I'm really excited for the next league, but otherwise give me my POE1 league, because that was the idea. That okay, I tried it out, it's underwhelming right now, I let it cook, give me my POE1 season. And it turned out that no, POE1 season is not going to be released. And for the matter of fact, maybe, just maybe, POE1 will never have any seasons at all. Now, if you know anything about POE, you would say that they always told us that they want to work on POE1 and they actually plan to do that. This is just an over dramatic. Why you would say such thing that they will never make POE1 content anymore? That's just a rant. For that, I would say fair enough. I can see where you are coming from. But the truth is, I am myself a software engineer, so I know how software engineering works. And when I heard this, in reality, behind closed doors, while GGG told us that they are working on Path of Exile 1 and 2 at the same time with two separate teams, the reality was that it was all a lie. There were people allocated for these reasons, but in reality there were only one team, and the whole team was working on Path of Exile 2 the whole time. So the Settlers of Kalgur League, which was the last league of Path of Exile 1, it was released last year, and since that release, nobody did work on Path of Exile 1 at all. And I know that if you are taking off people of a project and reallocate them to another project, it is going to be extremely hard to put them back to the original project. And in most cases, even though you do intend to put them back, you will never do so. And the reason is that software engineering is quite hard, it's quite challenging, and it takes a lot of time until software engineers get used to the code base they are working in. And the more time they are spending solving issues, even just simple bug reports and such, if somebody is doing that for a long time in a code base, they're going to learn that code base and they are going to be one of the experts. So an individual spending more time to do a project, they are going to be better and better delivering features to that project. To make things worse, the next time when something has to be done on that part of the code, you know, you are going to be the go-to guy because you messed around that part of the code the last time. You actually know what is going on there. So if there is a new task which affects that part of the code, you are going to be the go-to guy. And not just that, later on, you are going to be the person who actually wrote the entire thing, because after a while, you were the one who made the most modifications and most likely is literally written by you. So the more time you spend on a project, the more likely that you are the expert of a specific part of the code. How do you take off this person from the project? You see the problem? Now it's extremely hard to replace him, because if you lose this person, somebody else needs to catch up and most likely get to this person to find out that, hey dude, when you wrote this part of the code, what is going on here? You see? So even if you take this person to another project, his replacement is constantly going to ask questions from him. So even if he's trying to work on another project, it's still going to have to allocate a lot of resource and attention to teach his replacement. It's not going to be effective at all for that person to work on another project. It's not going to be effective at all for the original project to lose this person, because now they are a core member of the team. And to make things worse, it's not going to be easy for this person to start with the old project. How much time did pass since he saw those old code bases? That's a completely different engine. That's a completely different game logic. This person is not going to be effective at all to restart the old pipeline. While if you don't do that, if you don't allocate them, you just leave them on the new project, on the new code base, they are going to be the most valuable and most effective engineers in the team. And this is exactly what happened to POE2. And this is exactly what they admitted to us when they told us that right now the POE1 development team is irreplaceable for POE2. And now I quote, "We cannot afford to lose our best engineers while the game is on fire." And he's talking about POE2. You see? Exactly. And as a developer, back then, I listened to this and saw and said, oh shit, Path of Exile 1 is over. It's done. But you know how it is. In software engineering, in software development, we can fake features a lot of times, you know? Just like this season, they just gave us, you know, it's not a season, in Path of Exile 1 there's an event right now with new ascendancies and such, you know? Having a new ascendancy in the game is you know, it's a huge plus content, you know, that's a completely new class, basically. You know how easy it is to do so? You know, balancing it and, you know, doing tweaks like that, now that's a hard thing. But just putting in new ascendancy classes, you know, just like that, just like in the blink of an eye, they literally replaced all the ascendancies within 5 minutes. And I can tell you, as a software engineer, that took 1 or 2 person and 2 or 3 days. Plus testing, okay? I would say that the testing part took more time just to try out that everything is good. That took more time than developing the entire thing. So yeah, you can have a quote-unquote season like that, you know, they are just going to fake it that, oh yeah, don't worry, Path of Exile 1 fans, here's the new season, and oh yeah, we are giving an entire new location, which is actually copied from Path of Exile 2, but you don't know that because it's not released on Path of Exile 2 yet. So, you know, they can fake effort, they can fake work really easily because, you know, in software engineering, this is what we do. This marketing, it is marketing. We are overselling our products. We are trying to please you. And, you know, it's not a shame to do so. You know, we want the customers to be satisfied. So if we communicate in a way that the customers are satisfied, even if we did not do any work, that's still good. As long as the customer is satisfied, no matter how we achieve that, what matters is that the customer is happy. So yeah, I can really see that they are going to make these fake seasons. That a handful of people, 1 or 2, are going to just put together in a rush, while in reality, 99% of the effort of the entire team, including these people, are going to go to Path of Exile 2. I actually made a kick-ass build. My first time in this league, in Settlers of Kalgor, my build was obliterating everything. It was awesome. It's a low-budget league starter game which works really well. It is awesome. It's solo self-found compatible. It's really budget-friendly, really powerful, awesome build. Listen to this, Hex Blast Gladiator. And I actually wanted to make it as my new league start, and I wanted to make guide videos for them, and wanted to make content on YouTube to show everyone my sick build, and show everyone that, dude, you can make a 3 divine build which can obliterate endgame, basically unkillable, league starter, The best experience I had in PoE in my entire career, during leveling, during endgame, during everywhere. It's capable of doing every content. It's just awesome. It's just sick. And I wanted to league start that in the next league. And guess what? The next league never came. So, you know. Now what?